Hey heroes, welcome to the Hosts4Hire podcast. We are your hosts for hire. This is Kyle Cage. I am Lucas Rand. Today we are not sure what to talk about with each other, so we're pulling from Colin. And we want to maintain that even when we don't know what to talk about, that we're gonna talk about something. And that's why Colin here comes in handy. We put a crazy amount of topics and questions in here a long time ago, and they're still coming in useful today. So if you
Yes.
guys like this and you like Colin, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe at Hosts4Hire podcast.
And Colin is always looking for more thoughts, topics, suggestions. So please get in the comments below so we can add them to him. We will write your name
Yes.
on it. We'll shout you out when we call it. Please let's get some help for
Feed
it.
him, because there's stuff in here, but it's getting empty.
Before we get into Colin, there have been some things that I want to, cry a little bit about.
Oh, you got some spilled milk?
I got just a little spilled milk.
Spill that milk.
First off, I was doing a little research, reading some stuff. Why it seems insignificant, but why is it Mr. Freeze and not Dr. Freeze? It makes no sense. It's Dr. Victor Freeze. Why?
Amazing. I love this. I was like, what is the milk gonna be? And that came directly out of left field. But hey, it's a good point to make.
Is it his villainous persona? Like, if I go by Mr., no one will ever know it's me.
He's like, my name is Dr. Freeze. I can't go by Dr. Freeze. It doesn't make any sense.
I have to be a Mr.
Mr. Freeze.
It's dumb. It's dumb. I was looking up like villains that are doctors, and he popped up, and I was like, Mr. Freeze is a doctor.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like that whole Doctor Strange thing when he's like, normally to a doctor, being a doctor
is like
important to
yeah,
your
like I'm
ego.
doctor.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, don't call me Mister. I'm a doctor. I went through the work to evolve from Mister into doctor. So it feels like maybe Batman is like, like, hey, Mr. Freeze, and he's like, it's doctor, and he's like, yeah, all right, Mister.
And then spreads it to the news organizations like it's Mr.
They all
Freeze.
start calling him Mr. Freeze. It just goes by wildfire. He can't take it back now. Name recognition has papers. He's like, no, Batman!
Him fighting it makes it worse. He has a press conference like, I'm Dr. Freeze, actually. Like, okay,
Hashtag
Mr. Freeze.
just everywhere on the web. Fuels his villainous like motivation to Batman.
Forgets about Nora entirely. Just wants to vindicate himself.
This is a re-origin of Mr. Freeze. No, Nora was never there.
It's Bruce being a dick to him. Oh my god, that's great.
That is great. Hey, good milk. Good milk.
One more thing I did have down here, and I'll try and be quicker with this one. It's just a simple thing. Like, I keep noticing that like rumors of casting keep popping up, and it's for very like sometimes controversial people, sometimes people who've been rumored for a long time, and it feels like the studios are now using it as a tool to gauge whether people will like it's one of the metrics they use to determine whether they should cast someone or not. And I just think that personally,
kind of like they put out like a like for example, like an image of like Jensen Ackles as Batman, and then just like mitigate the outrage.
Yeah, and to test the waters to see would people enjoy this or not. What made me think of this was the recently there's been rumors that the woman who played Elphaba, whatever her name is in Wicked, Elphaba in Wicked, is in talks.
No, you're Wicked freaking lore, Kyle.
I should honestly.
The podcast with your Wicked lore on lock, Kyle.
I can't believe you knew that. You don't know names at all.
I had an ex-girlfriend that was like obsessed with Wicked, and shouts out Chelsea. Thank you.
Weird.
Yeah, now I get to flex my Wicked lore on you, dude.
And I feel so bad I'm blanking on her name right now, her actual name, but she has been rumored to be in talks to play Storm. And I keep seeing, mixed
Oh,
reactions, people being like, "Oh, I think she'd do well," or then like a ton of people being like, "Oh, no, never in a million years," because they don't. I don't know.
why?
I guess like her
I think she'd be good.
personally. I don't
It'll
know
be a
what
good
her
Storm.
politics
I
are.
haven't
I
watched
don't
Wicked, to be
like
honest,
like
because it's
like
on the thing,
and I
but
haven't seen much that she's been in. I don't know what her
I think she'd
politics
be
are
great.
personally, but I guess from what I was gathering, I guess a lot of people have an issue with like her politics or something. I don't know what they
Eh,
are, so I can't
I
speak on it.
I get that,
But
and there's like
from
some levels where like I agree that that should like have an effect, but like I'm also of the mind that like if she's the better for the role and she's a good actress, which it seems like she is, and she fits the role, which she does,
that's what
why
I'm saying.
not?
She looks a lot like
Yeah,
Aurora,
like she
like
could
I think
be
she'd.
like
I don't
I feel
know
like she could do the grandiose goddess Storm
very well.
like very
Yeah,
well. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But I guess it would depend on what age they're trying to pull it
Yeah. But
her
my
as
point my
to as
point is
well.
that it feels like that they released that they were in talks with her to gauge public reaction, and that's
Oh,
going to help
100%.
determine. And that's
Whether or
weird to me.
not,
I don't
yeah.
know, it's weird to me. Like it
Yeah,
feels
because there
like
was the whole like outrage with her over the poster. Like maybe that's still it. Why people are
I
like
don't
hard.
know, I
People are the
guess.
worst. B- That's not to say that I think she's like the best casting for Storm.
No,
Like
but
if they think so,
like I
they
wouldn't
probably know
be
something we don't. Like you
exactly.
know what
And
I mean?
and like I wouldn't be mad cuz I can't really think of someone who I like who immediately pops up that like needs to play Storm.
You know the
Like
one who pops up in my head, but she's already been in the MCU is wow, I'm blanking on her name. Shuri and T'Challa's mother.
Angela Bassett.
Yes, bro. That's like
Yes.
the one that pops to my head, like that old like goddess, like just like
Yeah.
divine goddess Storm. Like I feel like she would just like her voice, everything just kind of like hits that for me. But
I
she's
think
already
that
been in the
that'd be really
MCU,
good.
you know.
That's
But like I
true.
feel like that was just like an early casting, almost like oh, like no,
You missed it. You missed the
for
opportunity.
sure.
I don't
All
know. Let
right,
us let us
hey,
know what you
we
guys think
chatting,
about
we
that. Whether
chatting.
whether that
Good
was
milk, Kyle.
I'm just doing a little crying over here. I
Good
know it's
milk.
nothing to cry over, but I'm gonna cry anyway.
That's what the milk is about. Sometimes you spill the milk and you're not trying to.
you know?
All right. Let's pull from Colin now. Let's see what he's got to say. All right, Colin. First question. Ooh, Kyle. Oh, all right. Oh, yes. This is actually perfect because we just read the Absolute Wonder Woman #7. All right. How do you think the DCU's Wonder Woman can stand a chance to be as good and as cool and as like impactful to the fan base after like kind of like riding the coattails of Absolute Wonder Woman? Like to me, Absolute Wonder Woman. If you guys haven't read the Absolute DC at all, please do it. If you haven't read Absolute Wonder Woman specifically, like if you're gonna choose one for me so far, it's Absolute Wonder Woman. If you're just gonna pick one to read,
Superman and Batman are both amazing as well,
they're all great.
But Wonder Woman changes the game on Wonder Woman.
Like, please
Changes the
go
game.
read it. It's incredible. And then that begs the question, like, how can you elevate Wonder Woman from this Absolute Wonder Woman whilst also because she's probably gonna be a very classic Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where this Absolute Wonder Woman's like the vast opposite. But how
Yeah.
can you compete with something as cool as like what we've been seeing Wonder Woman's feats be in comics and on the live screen?
Recently, yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. So if we take it from the see, it's tough when you include the absolute universe just because that's so unique and different and such an interesting take on the Wonder Woman mythos
Yeah.
that like at this point, like you said, they kind of have to go with the more classic. But
But
they
like
also
that begs the
should
question to me, like, does that doesn't mean that James Gunn doesn't have the creative freedom to like do things like have her have more than one lasso.
yes,
Like
things like
that's a
that.
thing that could be incorporated. That's one of the things that comes to my mind, that she has multiple lassos, even in the classic version. That she
Yeah.
has like a lasso of transformation and a
What I
lasso
was
of sacrifice and then the lasso of truth. Like
interesting.
those concepts to her character are just so good that
Yeah.
like I don't think you can step away from it and hold the bar to
No.
this Wonder Woman.
No. I think the one thing that they kind of, I guess, like have going for him and like Absolute has kind of going against it is that Absolute is so new and so fresh and feels like
Yeah.
it doesn't have like that massive readership that
True.
like where it's not like widely known that there's
It's
now
true.
multiple lassos and stuff like that.
That's a
But
good point.
but I want them, if they were to incorporate something, it would be her arm. It would be her sacrificing her arm to save Steve. Something like that, like
I
that
thought you were
would
gonna say the
be
Buster Sword.
oh, I
Dude,
mean,
honestly, just make it the
just
absolute Wonder
make it,
Woman.
just make,
Just
please.
make it the absolute Wonder Woman. Is what we're trying to say. James Gunn, if there's zero chance that you're hearing, but seriously, on like a real note, like
Yeah.
this is the goal of like this podcast, like in the end of our lives would be that like, the things we're talking about are making it into the ears of these people. And if I had James Gunn's ear, like for some unholy reason, all I'd ask as a fan of Wonder Woman would be for there to be an attempt to hold the bar to the level that they've raised it in Absolute Wonder Woman. Be it with
Mhm.
multiple lassos, the arm, the Buster Sword, her attitude, whatever it is, her backstory being in hell rather than in Olympus, like
Raised by
whatever it is,
Cersei.
please, like there's gotta be a way to hold that bar to it rather than just going back to the classic Wonder Woman that we've all known for years. She just doesn't feel like
It's
it anymore.
interesting. It doesn't
It's
feel
it's
interesting.
horrible, but like, dude, it's so, this new one is so cool that like it has to elevate Wonder Woman forever in my
Yeah. And I want to point
opinion. Tell
out
us
that
if you agree, you guys,
yeah,
please.
please. What kind of Wonder Woman do you want to see? What kind of, Batman do you want to see? What kind of,
And if you
you
had
know
to take something from the Absolute Wonder Woman, if you have read it, to the James Gunn's new DCU, what would be that one thing for you?
Yeah,
Because
yours would be
there's
the
so much to
lassos.
choose
Mine would
from.
be the
Yes,
arm. I mean, like you said, they could be the Buster Sword. It could be even something simple like the Tetraside, or like, like,
dude, her black lipstick.
dude, I don't care. Like,
Like, send me over the edge, dude. Bring that, and I'm happy, bro. There's some panels that she looks so fucking cool,
yes.
like mixed with like the beauty that Wonder Woman like always is, and is like,
Well, in this
it's just
iteration, it doesn't
so
seem like
good.
she has that, like, I don't know, like that natural, that same facial structure that she's had for 70
True,
years or
true.
whatever.
She has a
It's much more angular. It's much more
mhm.
realistic.
She
Honestly, it
looks like
feels
a woman who lifts,
well, like,
and
and
like
also
and
like a
goes hard.
Greek woman who
Yeah, yeah,
lifts.
yeah,
Like
for
it's
sure,
not
for
like
sure, for
I don't
sure.
know. It's again. Tell
Which
us
goes
what
back
you
to our
guys think.
casting that we want someone
Mhm.
that has more of those defining features. Like May Calloway, I remember was my choice. I can't remember what
Yeah.
yours was. Oh,
Jamie
Jamie
Alexander.
Alexander. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That's right. Ooh, both top choices.
Both, yeah, both great, both
And
great. I
both
think
could
we
pull
killed it with
off that like
that.
absolute Wonder Woman look. Like, oh, ooh, give
Yeah,
it to
yeah.
us, please. You
Please.
guys, let us know if you agree with this. Let us know in the comments if you disagree, if you think that she should be the classic Wonder Woman and like that shouldn't be deviated from, especially in like an origin to a world
See,
like
I
we're
don't
getting
think
to
it's gonna
James
be an
Gunn's.
origin though.
Or I guess not
That's the
origin. I guess I mean
problem.
just like an introduction, more
Now
accurately.
now that I'm
You know,
thinking about it a little bit, like, yeah, I really don't think we're gonna get an origin for anybody,
no,
just
no,
because of
no.
how
Origin's
recently
the wrong word. I just meant like as her like DCU intro. She hasn't
intro.
been
Yeah,
introduced
yeah, yeah. That
like
makes sense.
introduced
Yeah,
like in any
yeah,
of the movies yet.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, let
Agreed.
us know what you want to see from Wonder Woman. Like this is one of the big three. She's not just one of the big seven. It's one of the big three. One of the most important characters to like all of DCU lore. So like her execution, at least to me, is like very, very important.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I would say that on a final note before we move on, I will say that she's more complex and nuanced than Batman or Superman, the other of the big three, because Batman's dark,
yeah,
Superman's hopeful and light. Like, she's a little more ambiguous. She's a
hmm
little bit of both
a little bit of
worlds.
both.
She's a little bit of old world trying to understand the new, and
Specifically, if
like,
you were to take some bits from this absolute Wonder Woman, where she has that like that savage fighter in her. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like she has that like almost
survivalist.
like yeah, like this like bestial survivalism, like to her like
She was raised in the
upbringing.
Wild
And she
Isles
was
in
yeah,
hell.
you know what I mean? And that's just I want that so bad. We talk about how my favorite version of Hawk Girl is that like savage like warrior like priestess, and that we might not be able to get to see that because of the direction that they're seemingly taking with Hawkgirl. But we could get it from Wonder Woman, and I really want that, man. I really want that. Just like I what's a good way to put it? Is like I want it to feel like Superman is legitimately the only character that has a strength that can like overcome this.
Yeah, that can
You
keep
know what I
her
mean?
in check and all.
You know what I mean?
Like I was just thinking,
Other than like some crazy villains, obviously, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like within the context of the Justice
of the
League,
Justice League, yeah.
like
A
she
scene,
should be just
a
like
potential scene popped into my head as you were talking, and it was essentially Wonder Woman kind of going a little too hard, maybe losing control a little bit while fighting a villain or an enemy, and like Superman having to like stop her and be like, "Yo, like,
yeah, no, that would be really cool, and have her just like
whoa."
be wailing on him, and then him having to
And
be
be
like,
like, whoa, whoa,
oh,
whoa,
like
and
okay,
her
like
like kind of come back and be like,
yeah,
oh, okay, all right, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Like
That would be
sometimes,
great. That's the
yeah,
type of thing I want because like Superman's strength is on par with hers, but like that does not mean that she can't wail on him. That was one of
no,
my very least favorite things about the Snyder versus Justice League was that moment where all four characters are like trying to push Superman and they can't even get him to like move like an inch, like a centimeter, like even like Aquaman alone should be able to move Superman. Like we're not saying he's stronger, like by any means, but like
no.
the
Wonder Woman's the same
Wonder
way.
Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, they should all, especially together, be able to not defeat Superman necessarily, but at least give him
Like
a
my man,
form of challenge.
my man's was standing flat footed and
Just
got
not moving.
speared and not moving. Like that's what?
I
Like
hated that scene so much, man. If the whole movie was great, which it isn't, but if it was, that scene alone would have ruined the movie.
yeah.
Just
Or
like
at
I
least brought
hated it
it way
so
down.
much.
Like
But you
yeah.
got, but we're not here to talk about the Snyderverse. We digress. We digress. Colin, get us out of this. Colin, get us out of this.
What Colin asks, "What's your least favorite Snyderverse?"
Oh, good. And there's totally those types of questions in here too. I want to pull that so bad right now. Let's see what we got. Oh, this is really interesting, actually. This might take a little bit of research on our part, Kyle, but Colin wants to know now that Phase 5 is over, let's rank the Phase 5 films.
Oh, what are all the films in
Let's take a little
Phase 5? MCU. Let's see here, guys. What do we got? What do we got? See, where does it start? It starts with Ant-Man and the Wasp. We have not gotten all of it.
Wait, it
Technically,
starts with Ant-Man and the Wasp?
according to this, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Guardians 3, Secret Invasion, I Am Groot, Loki, Marvels, What If,
Oh,
Season
Ant-Man and the
2.
Wasp Quantumania. That makes sense. I thought it
Sorry,
was like
yeah.
Ant-Man and the
No.
Wasp. I was like, no way. I was like, whoa. It's a much more extensive list than I thought. Yo. Okay, that makes total sense.
So, lastly, technically, we haven't gotten the end of Phase 5. Technically, Ironheart Season 1 is the end of Phase 5.
Oh, I thought that Thunderbolts was.
I also
But
thought that Thunderbolts
barring Ironheart, which I
Yeah.
am just we can talk about it for a second because I'm extraordinarily nervous for that because I know that this has been shelved at Marvel for like I don't even know how long. So like I don't know if they did reshoots. I don't know if it's just been sitting there and like they're just gonna release it now as it was. From what I saw of the teaser trailer, the hood looks. I'm super nervous for it. We'll have to like I'm one that always preaches to wait until it comes out
Yeah.
and then talk. But like it's just got me really nervous for this show. I really hope it's cool.
I'm always nervous when a show gets rewritten, reshot, pushed,
Shelved,
production
like, any of
pushed.
those
Yeah,
things.
the initially was supposed to be made and created like 5-6 years ago or something like that. Like
Something.
at that point, how many times did you have to rewrite it so that it would fit into the current timeline, and how much of it doesn't matter anymore that's still in it? And Is it even the same
That's the
show?
worry.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's always the worry with stuff like that. So I'm hoping it's really good, and I'm 100%. As soon as it releases, I'm going to be there to watch it,
Oh,
just
well,
like I'm sure
we'll
all you nerds out there will too. But
and so apparently they're releasing 3 episodes and then 3 episodes, and then
makes
that's
sense.
it.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, like, 1
But
week
I
we're
do
getting the
believe it's
first
on
3 and
us
then
as the audience to like, if this is something that's subpar, like, and like I'm waiting to judge it. I'm not saying it's gonna be, but if it
Mhm.
is, I think it's our responsibility to denounce things like that. If you're gonna put something, you're gonna have it on the shelf, and you're just gonna release it, and it's bad. I feel like it's on the fans to let the studio know that that's not okay. Otherwise, they're gonna keep doing it,
Yeah.
and like over and
And
over, and they won't care.
and a flip side of that coin, it's also our responsibility if it's great to if a project is great to let them know as well,
Yes,
to be as
to absolute
vocal as you
glaze
can
that
about it.
project, hundred
Because
percent.
regardless of
Like
ho
Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is
so
being glazed for like a month right now,
yeah,
and I'm
which is
so
great.
happy because that's
Yeah.
the type of thing that I really hope makes it to those studio heads and communicates what the fan base
Yeah,
responds to. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like what it is that we want in these films.
And it seems like no matter how good a project is, there are always going to
100%.
be a small minority of people who are loudly bashing it for
Yeah.
one terrible
And
reason or
our
another.
whole goal is to never be that small minority. So if you guys ever catch us in that small minority, call us out because
Yes,
we want to hop out of that.
and we need to also collectively be louder than that minority. Because, like I said,
100%.
they may be small, but
100%.
they can be loud, and we just need to be louder when something is good and
All
louder
right.
when something is bad. But
Let me. I'm just looking at these projects right now, and
Mhm.
just top of the mind, number one for me, Loki, hands down, no question.
Loki season 2, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
no question.
I can't.
Now here's where it gets a little tough for me. Actually, here I'll ask you how you want to do. Do you want to go top bottom, like one down, or do you want to go
I think
down over to one?
top bottom will be easier.
All right, same. All right.
Maybe.
What
Christ, this is
what's
gonna be
what's number
hard,
two for
man.
you, bro? What's number two? Because like for me, it's between Guardians 3,
And
Thunderbolts, and Deadpool and Wolverine.
for me, it's between Guardians 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine. I love Thunderbolts. I think Guardians 3 was much more emotionally impactful. Uh,
I agree with that.
Deadpool and Wolverine had a lot of really good
The way I
cameo
cried at the
moments.
end of Guardians 3, bro.
Yeah. So personally, I think I'm
All
gonna
right.
put Guardians 3 at 2.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna be on a disagreement with you though. So I'm gonna go Loki, Guardians, Thunderbolts, Deadpool,
I'm gonna switch those. I'm gonna go Deadpool, then
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Yep.
Yep. I just think yeah. Yep.
Granted, I will say, and I will point out, you've seen Thunderbolts twice. I've only seen it once,
That's
so
true. Yeah.
you might have a better gauge.
And you know what's
Than
crazy
I
about that, dude, is I'm always the action one. I care more that
do.
there's more action than more like of that interpersonal
Yeah, yeah.
thing.
Traditionally, yeah, that's a good
So it's
point.
very, but
Yeah,
I want to stick that I think that Thunderbolts was a better movie than Deadpool because of that. Because I think it was better in the mind rather than Deadpool and Wolverine was better in like for the eye.
actions. Yeah,
You know.
like action wise, and
Mm-hmm.
for like
Mm-hmm.
nostalgia, and for just like
Yep.
uh those
And then check it
cameo
out. I'm gonna
moments.
throw after this. I'm gonna throw Captain America: Brave New World at number 5 for me. Right smack dab in the middle. I'm gonna put Captain America: Brave New World. Because what we have left is Brave New World, Daredevil Born Again, Agatha, Echo, Secret
Secret
Invasion,
Invasion, Ant
and
Man and the
Ant-Man and the
Wasp.
Wasp.
I'm gonna also do that. I think I'm gonna agree with you there. Yeah, Brave New World was a good movie, and I think it was better
Hmm.
than
And then
all of the other
and then a lot
ones.
of
Yeah.
people hate on Echo, but I'm gonna put Echo after Brave New World. And then I think I'm gonna go. Here. I think I'm gonna finish it out. I'm gonna go Brave New World at number 5, and then Echo at number 6, The Marvels at number 7, Ant-Man and the Wasp at number 8, Agatha, and then Secret Invasion at no, sorry, Daredevil, Agatha, Secret Invasion.
Okay.
I was low
Interesting.
on Daredevil, bro.
Yeah.
I'm low on Daredevil. There's some scenes that I
Again, it goes back to
love
that
that I
action
love in
action.
Daredevil.
Well,
but
and
I'm low
it's
on Daredevil.
but it's also I just had a thought. Just gonna cut in.
Yeah.
The action thing we were just talking about with you. It's very specific to the character. The reason why Daredevil is so low for you is because there wasn't enough action because it's Daredevil.
Because it's
But
Daredevil. And then on the
but
flip side for that for me as well is Muse. The Muse thing, I'm not over it.
yeah,
I just
that's
like
fair.
it
Yeah.
actually just stained, kind of like I was saying like with Justice League. Like unfortunately
Mhm.
for me, like there are certain moments that just can stain the entire project, like regardless of how good the rest of it
The
was.
rest of it goes.
And that
Yeah.
is one of those things for the first season of Daredevil. That
Yeah.
what they did with Muse just stained the entirety of the season for me.
That's
Like
fair. That's a
and
fair.
like
I think
I can't say I enjoyed it less than Agatha. Definitely not less than Secret Invasion. That is like my bottom, like potentially of the entire
I
MCU.
enjoyed Secret Invasion until like episode like
Hate it.
6 or 7. Like
Yeah,
I thought it was setting up really well, and then it just
it's fair. Yeah, like
like
it's fair. The acting in it is good with like Sam like Jackson and stuff. I just the way it ended,
that's what I mean. Like
Gaia,
the ending was
ugh,
horrible. Like it literally took
the
like
Super Scroll.
what
It's
would have
just
been like a decent show at worst, you know? Like it was a decent show at worst, a pretty good show at best. It made it a terrible, possibly one of the
yeah,
worst MCU projects.
yeah,
Just the horrible rendering of
yeah.
Drax's arm
And
and
then I
all of
feel like
that.
people are gonna disagree with where I put the Marvels, but I'm higher. I'm pretty high on the Marvels. I can say and I'll
Mhm.
stand on that. I'm higher on the Marvels than I was on Daredevil Born Again. Even with Daredevil Born Again having like the Frank and Matt scene, like love that scene. Like the
Mhm.
very first like Bullseye Daredevil fight, really awesome. But I just can't say that the Marvels didn't have a moment in it like Muse, you know. And they had a
Yeah.
really creative thing that I personally enjoyed between the three Marvels. Maybe
The
some
way
people
that they
didn't.
were like
I
switching and
liked it.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I also
I
enjoyed
liked
that. I would put so the ones that I'd probably change would be where did you put What If? Did you put What If?
I actually didn't include What If
Okay, that's what I was
to
thinking.
to
Because it's
to be
not
honest.
technically like, you know,
Yeah,
there's no
it
like same with
is and
I
it
Am Groot,
isn't,
like
and yeah, it's
but
hard because like What If season 1, I put like potentially up there with Loki. What If season 3, I put down there with like Secret Invasion. So like it's like a super wide margin.
that's true, yeah. Yeah, so the only thing I would say is that like Secret Invasion on the bottom. I would put Daredevil Born Again up one more,
Above,
I
yeah.
think.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Um, but it's close, you know?
Do you think that Daredevil was better than Quantumania? Because Quantumania was also hated. I didn't hate it as much, but
I
also at
thought
the
it
time,
was
I haven't watched it again since the Kang like
yeah. So like
destroyedness.
there's a
You know what I mean?
well, that's a good point. There's a lot that it sets up that'll never be
That,
gratified. So
that
like I feel like
and with that,
that
then
taints it
knowing
going
that, then
forward.
the ending of the movie having Ant-Man defeating Kang, because if that's like the defeat of Kang, kind of so far as we know it, then that sucks. You
Yeah,
know, like then that sucks a
it
lot.
does seem like Kang will be back though. Maybe
I
not
hope so.
Jonathan Majors, but it does seem
Yeah,
like
I hope so.
we'll see. Fingers crossed for that one.
Yeah.
I would put it above Ant-Man
Fair.
strictly because of that.
Yeah,
Because of the
totally
like
fair.
but again, like, as same as you, I haven't seen it in a while, so it's hard to
Yeah.
say. I don't
I
know.
I enjoyed the world building of Ant-Man
Mhm.
Quantumania. Like the like quantum world. I just kind of like thought it was really cool. Like all the colors that they
Yeah.
put in, like the thought to like the weird little characters.
Yeah. I
Paul
did
Rudd,
feel
love him.
oh, I
I
mean,
just
he's
love
just
him.
great and everything.
I just love him.
I did feel like Janet was forced in a little bit.
I can agree with that.
Like Janet Van Dyne, like was
Mhm.
just kind of
I
forced
wish
into
she
the
had a better
story.
role in it. I wish she had because like
Yeah,
when in Ant-Man and the Wasp, she's portrayed kind of like this crazy badass, and I was really
yeah,
hoping to see her be this like crazy badass in the quantum world, like kind
but
of as their guide. But it was, yeah, you're right. I see
kind of
it.
lackluster. It just felt
Hmm.
like like I don't know. It could have been anyone. It could have been a random original character. It just felt like it
Totally.
was fan service to have her in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think. How would you guys rank these? How would you
Yes.
structure it? Did you guys
You
love
agree with our
season 2
rankings?
of Loki as one of the
Yeah.
best show things ever made
Or
for
yeah,
television?
more accurately, like what would be your guys's? What I'm most curious would be like your top 2 or top 3 and bottom 3 of
Yeah,
the of Phase 5.
yeah.
Because like for me, it was pretty solidified what was top and bottom. But I'm really curious to know what it is for you guys, and if you guys have a similar opinion where it's like solid. You're like, no, like this can't change. Like Echo is number one for sure, and like Agatha is at the bottom. Like just like like whatever it is for you, explain to us why.
Sometimes when you give examples, you give the most wild ones.
Well, somebody out there might feel like Echo is like the best thing that has come out, which is kind of to me a wild take, but somebody could
I
be
would
like
love to hear a take like
somebody
that. You
who
know what
has
I
like
mean? I
a
want
hearing
someone,
impairment, you know what I mean? Who just
that
like feels like a total like connection and just like appreciation for how they did the like how they showed her deafness within the
yeah.
show. Like somebody could
See?
like love that so
That's
much, and I would love to hear about that.
exactly. Please get in the comments and tell us your experiences with these projects, what you like the most, what you like these, whether you liked us ranking these movies within the phases. We did a previous little bit where we did ranked the phases themselves.
Yes, we did.
So if you want us to do this for 4, 3, 2, and 1, let us know.
Yes.
Please jump in the comments. We'll shout you out when we do it. We do appreciate y'all for stopping by. We really hope that you like, share, and subscribe at
Please.
Hosts4Hire podcast on all socials. We're
Trying
trying
to
to
hit that
push
10K.
YouTube. Yep, we're trying to push YouTube to 10K, but we're also on TikTok. We're going to try posting more on Facebook. Head over to Patreon to become a superhero if you want to help us out. Give us a little bit more. We again do appreciate you stopping by. Stay tuned for the next episode, and we will catch you with the next one.
Peace.